Oregon is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Big Ten champions. Big Ten champs.
National champions, yes.
Oklahoma City bound the Oregon Ducks.
Awesome day to be a Duck, man.
Boom inside. Touchdown Oregon. He gets loose. Fires. Hits. Pops the three. Oh, yeah. It's all Oregon.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider.
It's about how to be a group of people that know how to love each other to the absolute fullest.
Pleasure, joy to be with them each and every day. And I can't wait for the future.
It's just fun to be a part of a community that cares, that is passionate, and when we come together, powerful things can happen.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
Here we go on an Athletic Director Tuesday. The Athletic Director Rob Mullens leads us off in the Country Financial Studio. I'm Joey Mack. It's a good day. There's a lot going on. It makes the show so easy to host when there's so many events because you get winter sports now. Football signing day is tomorrow. There's tons of things going on. What'd you do this weekend, Rob?
Well, to your point, we have a lot going on, even when we don't have home events. Saturday was a busy day. We had a big football recruiting weekend, so I had a chance to visit. I don't even know how many it was. These football recruiting weekends are almost like small weddings. It's crazy, and Lydia Gibbs did a fantastic job of setting it up. And then we had the baseball first pitch dinner. And what a great event that was. Coach Waz put so much energy into that, like Missy does for the softball first pitch dinner. And, it's kind of the launch to the seasons, and it brings those communities together. So, those were two great events on Saturday. That filled up Saturday. Then I had a dinner Saturday night. But, it takes a lot of people to pull those off, not only staff, but you got, our friends at Pearl Catering and Mark Byram and what they bring to the first pitch dinner, outstanding food. To really make that event a success. And I don't know who's selling the orchids in Eugene, but at both events, the football signing day and the tables at the first pitch dinner,
That's so true.
Whoever was in charge of the orchids had a good weekend.
Look, the floral arrangements are off the charts. As someone my mom actually worked at a flower shop once upon a time in her life, so she has an appreciation that I can say I kept the appreciation in the genes. The making of the floral arrangement, Rob, I could not do it. So I have an appreciation.
No, I do too, and so do a lot of other attendees. Because if you stay long enough after the events, inevitably somebody's going to come up and say, "Hey, are those available for the taking, or are they getting used again?"
That's right, Lauren Crockett. If you're watching, I know that's something that you take pride in because. My wife has been very happy when I've walked home with a floral arrangement once or twice.
Hey, if you're working at night, like a Saturday night, you can take home a nice bouquet of orchids.
That's right.
It at least gets you a little bit out of the
doghouse.
doghouse.
No, it does. Oh, believe me, it does. Well, so to that point, though, a lot going on. And since you've been on with us, Rob, let's maybe start with football. We've got a schedule.
We have a schedule. Yes, a great schedule.
Great schedule.
Incredible schedule. Sequence is nice. I mean, it's it ends really tough.
It does.
But at least for those that like it's spaced, like we hear often from fans at Autzen, it's almost an every other week opportunity to come to Autzen.
And no back-to-back road games for Oregon. That's a plus, I think. Everyone would agree. Get back-to-back home weekends instead. That's nice. It works out.
That is nice. And last year, I think it was well known that we played several games when our opponent had more time than we did to prepare. I think we have one of those this year.
Yeah, and it's
so
UCLA,
that's better.
For example, has one, but also Oregon does. And then Illinois does have a bye before playing Oregon. But other than that, works out.
And a fantastic home schedule.
Yes.
Fantastic home schedule.
Well, you have been on so many of these conversation points about scheduling. I know it's a hot topic, but it is a hard game of Tetris to play at the conference level.
It is, especially when you're changing leagues.
Yeah.
And to for our conference to try to do that, with the balance, they do a phenomenal job. Commissioner and they do great work on that. But it is hard, right? Because when you load in so many parameters for 18 teams in a 9-game schedule, it's tough to get something that pleases everybody.
Well, and you're never going to please everybody, right?
No, we're all going to – I mean, we look at everything with green and yellow glasses.
100%.
And, you know, in our previous league, Coach Shaw at Stanford was always like sequence of games matters, of games matters, how you balance it. And, you know, he was dead on, and I think our league does a good job.
Well, and to that point, football signing day tomorrow, right? There's you mentioned like being around recruiting weekends. There's always an eye to the future for these things.
No, I think there is. And, I mean, you know, recruiting has changed so much, it seems like it's nonstop. And kudos to our staff and coaches. Like I said, you know, Lydia did a phenomenal job of organizing everything on Saturday, and Marshall and Tyler and, you know, the whole group, and the amount of time and energy that the whole organization dedicates to making those successful. And it helps when you have, you know, high 50, low 60-degree weather.
Chamber of Commerce type weather.
In February.
Right, yeah, I'll take it. I mean, no doubt about it. You know, and we talk so much about all that effort, but it's for good reason, right? I mean, look at the season the Ducks are coming off of, and here we are already talking about 2026.
Yeah,
right?
back-to-back 13-win years. You know, a Big Ten championship in our first year, 2 great CFP experiences. So, yeah, a lot to build on.
And no doubt the economic driver, as we've talked about.
Yeah, it is the economic engine, and many thanks to all those that have renewed. We're at the end of the football season ticket renewal. We're going to exceed 90% renewal rate for the 4th year in a row. Yeah,
way to go.
I mean, it's the lifeblood of our program, and you know, again, you know, we have to do it differently than most, but we are finding a way to compete at the highest level.
Well, to that point, I was curious, Rob, because there's so much news that comes. One of the stories, even just in the last 24 hours, that Michigan generating $67 million in ticket revenue in fiscal year 25. I mean, now I think everyone wonders, like, okay, you see these numbers, but then how does that compare? Put that in context for fans.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question, because there was an article today that, you know, 2 teams in our league are, you know, approaching $70 million in football ticket revenue.
Right.
For us, that's double what we can do in a 54,000-seat stadium. And but it's still important that we sell those tickets and that we fill it up, not only for resources, because as we've talked about, those are more and more important when you're talking about player retention. Now that, you know, we have that rev share, scholarship opportunities that you know that have expanded, retaining our great staff. So that's critical, and we have to do it a little differently. You know, we're probably middle of the pack in the Big Ten on football ticket revenue, somewhat just by our stadium size. But, you know, if we keep getting it over 100% capacity, that means we're maximizing it. And that's what it takes for us to be successful.
Maybe this is a green and yellow lenses question from me. Forgive me. I graduated from the University of Oregon, for anyone that didn't know. Been here my whole career. But I'm curious, do you like the challenge? Like, is it kind of fun doing it differently sometimes?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I just love the DNA of the state of Oregon, of the community of Eugene Springfield, of Oregon athletics. We're kind of tapped into the Nike DNA.
Sure.
Just do it. You know, how can we take what we have, deploy it in the right way, and find ourselves boxing above our weight class?
A lot of people ask me, you know, like working at Oregon, but also staying at Oregon like I have, you know, like why? And I always think back to, like, I didn't realize really didn't truly understand as an 18-year-old that constant force of innovation and the thinking on the forefront, you know, like that's a big deal.
It is a huge deal. I was speaking to the recruits, football recruits on Saturday, and opened it up for questions at the end, and was asked a similar question of, you know, I'm in my 16th year.
Right.
That, you know, doesn't always happen in this business. And then what do I think has changed the most to allow Oregon to have back-to-back 13-win seasons and be in the CFP? And obviously, Dan Lanning is the first answer to that, and the phenomenal staff that he put together. But a lot of that comes out of alignment. You know, there is incredible alignment in Oregon athletics with the institution, with the board leadership, with our incredible donors, and our willingness to do things differently, to be first, whether it's uniforms or facilities or you name it. I mean, because we're all here every single day, get to see it up and down the hallways, and it's just there's a spirit about it.
Well, and I'm the first to say, again, 18-year-old me didn't fully understand what I was walking into. now it's all I've known in my professional career.
I mean, 40-year-old me didn't understand it either, that's for sure. But it didn't take long to see it and understand the power of it.
Well, it certainly has made a difference for you, I'd imagine.
100%.
Right?
I mean, it's, it is how we're able to compete. We which one of these does not look like the others, and that's us in a lot of ways. And you can see that in professional sports.
Sure.
Organizations that have the right culture, that lean into the DNA, and are willing to commit to a strategy, can find themselves competing with somebody who may have some built-in advantages.
Right. Athletic Director Rob Mullens with us. We're going to get a timeout. Still a little bit about football, signing day. Just a few things going on. Also, a ton of other sports ramping up, and a lot more to cover. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working at our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember. Back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this wayward son? I left my heart.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Rob Mullens joining us in the Country Financial Studio. Talked a lot of football, National Signing Day tomorrow. A lot of fans have asked me this, like, so why have the second one? Well, you never know. The class could get some additions, and certainly the transfer portals change things, but it's hard to celebrate the class completely in December when it's not actually complete until February.
Well, not complete, and we're in the middle of doing a bunch of other things.
Right.
You've probably read or there's been a lot of conversations about the football calendar and that December signing date and the complications that it creates when you're still playing. But yeah, it may not be complete, but we're also trying to prepare for postseason.
Well, and even just today, for those that didn't see it, the CFP officially announced the schedule for 26 and 27, and the national championship is even a little bit later. And I know that's something Coach Lanning has said, like, that makes it hard. It does.
It does make it hard, especially at a quarter system school when we start. I mean, we started, January 3rd this year, maybe it was 5th, but, and you're still, we started the 5th, and we're playing on the 9th. If we had advanced to it'll be a similar schedule, you're going to still be in the middle of it while you're at the beginnings of your winter term. That's hard.
Well, there's always things that'll be conversation points, and maybe they change someday.
Good challenges to have.
Good challenges. That's right. That's right. It's a conversation you want to be having.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm with you. So a lot going on. Go to GoDucks.com. By the way, the National Signing Day auction is a great way to support Oregon football. It's underway on GoDucks.com. You'll see more and more details about that coming tomorrow. Signing Day. It's always kind of fun, isn't it?
It is fun, and we have a lot of great events, and it is a chance to, again, much like we talked about the first pitch dinner, to get fans together and celebrate a fantastic season, a great signing class, and a launching point for kicking off the preparations for 2026.
Into the winter sports. I want to start with women's basketball, Rob, because we're coming up on National Girls and Women in Sports Day. And this weekend, for the Ohio State game, if you have not registered already, do so via goducks.com. Student athletes have told me this is one of their favorite things they get to do because multiple teams will be stationed around the practice courts at Matthew Knight Arena, and any kid below a certain age, fill out the waiver. I promise it's nice and easy. goducks.com/NGWSD for National Girls and Women in Sports Day. Essentially, you get not only to hang out with all the student athletes and coaches, you also learn some skills from them, and they're a good group to learn from.
They are a great group, and it's a great event. It's a great community event to get young people into Matthew Knight Arena, engaging with our student athletes, for a great day of celebration. Much like the Women's Symposium that Katie Harbert and team do, the feedback for that has been tremendous as well.
That's coming up this weekend. GoDucks.com has your registration and your details. How about the win on the court for Oregon men's basketball this weekend?
Huge. I mean, those 3 threes in the fourth quarter by Sophia Bell. That's just a big road win as we head down the stretch. And we've had a strong net. But we needed to finish one of those games, and to do it against a ranked opponent on the road sets us up for another big opportunity Wednesday. I know we say this a lot on here, but filling Matthew Knight Arena tomorrow night, giving us in Illinois are fighting for the same spot in the Big Ten. Here's our chance to really lift our team after a big road trip. 2 road wins on the East Coast. A chance coming back home to make a difference.
Stomp Out Cancer game. Wear pink. 6 o'clock tip at Matthew Knight Arena on Wednesday. Oregon, Illinois. It's a great women's basketball matchup. And I'll tell you what, these games are special for a lot of reasons. And I'm glad that every sport has continued to do a Stomp Out Cancer activation with wearing pink. You're going to get multiple. I'm just going to warn everyone. You're going to get multiple standing ovations during timeouts at this game.
No doubt. Again, another opportunity to represent a great cause. Men's basketball Sunday was Beat Oregon, Black History Month. So a lot of great programming, as you said, for all the right reasons.
Good time for me to mention, those that maybe did not see this, congratulations are in order for Oregon Senior Associate Athletic Director for Culture and Engagement, Damone Merkerson. He's being honored by the University of Oregon's Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Institutional Transformation Award. Shout out to Val Johnson for the nomination.
Great job, Val.
And Damone won it. That's pretty cool.
It is really cool, and I'm sure you've had Damone on, and people have engaged with Damone in his time here. He means so much to our department. He just led a recent all-staff training meeting, and the feedback has been phenomenal. Comes with great energy every day. He's also a new father, so that's got him fired up too.
Yeah.
But very deserving of the award.
Well, and we were just talking to start this off about culture, right, and how that matters, and that's a big part of what he's doing.
It is a big part, and we try to be very intentional about it, and he's a big piece of that.
All right, spring sports are ramping up. However, the indoor track and field record book, before we even talk about outdoor season coming up, Rob, we have rewritten. The red ink is just flowing all over the indoor track and field record book right now.
Yeah, keep it coming. Obviously, a big one in Fayetteville last weekend. Another record went down. Lots of top tens, lots of NCAA qualifying marks, and wins at a really competitive meet. So, keep stacking them. That championship will be here before we know it.
I know that. And it's amazing to just think about the consistency of that program. Right.
Yeah, no, the women are defending their national title. The men have more depth now, so it'll be a fun championship meet.
Final thoughts, spring sports are ramping up. We mentioned the various launches of the season for the Diamond Sports. I just want to tee this up for you again. 60th season of Oregon softball and the 10th season at the Jane coming up. That's pretty special.
That is very special. Obviously, one of the best venues in all of the sport, and the way the fans have elevated the interaction between the student athletes and the fan bases is pretty special. Obviously, acrobatics and tumbling getting going. I know you guys have talked about it on here. Finally, after 15, 16 years of incredibly hard work with the University of Oregon at the forefront of the sport, it's going to get an NCAA-sanctioned championship.
Coming up at 27.
To all those that laid the groundwork and the years and years and years of hard work of selling what a great sport it is, across the finish line.
Oh, man, it was great. I read your quote, as you can imagine, on the show, and then right after had Taylor Susnar on, just what it means to her. And, yes, it's been intentional to have that uniform, by the way, Rob, over everyone's shoulder here over the last few years.
Yeah, a really cool opportunity. I mean, again, they've had an association championship, which has been great, but now for it to be recognized by the NCAA was that final piece for the sport that so many have worked so hard for.
Pretty cool. Well, we covered a lot. Anything else that we missed?
No, I think great. Fill up Matthew Knight Arena tomorrow night. Big opportunity to help women's basketball get another key win and keep climbing that net ranking, get us into the tournament.
That's what you like to see. He is Oregon Athletic Director Rob Mullens. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Great to be with you.
Timeout, and when we come back, softball season starts Friday. Head coach Melyssa Lombardi here in the studio next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Dear Winter, Toyota's got 25 vehicles with available all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, and that's more than any other auto brand. So you bring the action, and we'll bring the traction. Toyota, let's go places. Based on manufacturer's websites as of 10/20/25.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious, which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
I left my heart in Oregon. Oh, I left my heart in Oregon. Yeah, I left my heart in Oregon.
We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Missy Lombardi is in the Country Financial Studio. It is opening week for Oregon softball, traveling tomorrow. Florida, the destination. The Ducks have 3 top 25 teams in the field for opening weekend. 4 teams were in the NCAA tournament last year. Coach, you scheduled up. We said that you wanted to do that, and here we go. It's here. How does opening day sound?
It sounds unbelievable.
Yeah.
We just are ready. We cannot wait to get on a flight tomorrow and go to Florida.
Does opening day ever get old?
No.
Really?
I love it.
Does it feel the same now as it did with your first year coaching?
Yes.
Really?
I love it. I love it. I always get excited, a little nervous, I love it.
I feel like it's not necessarily pure nerves, though. It's like anticipation, isn't it? You know, there's a lot of excitement around this every year. I don't know. I think it's fun. How are you going to do this year?
I think we're going to do all right.
All right, good. And that has been a great segment with Coach Lombardi. No, in all seriousness, I heard from a lot of fans when we went through in the fall and just kind of went person by person. And I know it's unfair for someone like me to ask you, Coach, what's your lineup going to be for opening weekend, right? But because there's still competition. And I'd imagine that you're going to want some competition opening weekend. So instead, let's just go person by person, if you don't mind. Let's start in the circle. You returned 93% of your innings pitched last year. How does that number sound to a head coach?
It sounds wonderful. It sounds really good.
Experience.
Just the experience. You can never have enough experience.
Yeah. And how about that trust factor between you and the staff, too, Coach? Like, how valuable is that to just have that experience together?
Just the experience, the trust, the support that they all give each other. I'm with those guys every single day. I'm with our team every day, but that group in particular, I'm just, I'm their position coach. So right. I spend a lot of time with them, and they've worked hard, and I'm excited. I'm excited for all of them. They all have different things that they bring, and I look at Elise and Lindsay. They have the experience. They were, just putting them in pressure cooker situations all year and just watching them both come through. They've worked hard on their craft and have some added elements to what they're doing, and I look forward to seeing that. Taylor Spencer had a little bit of an injury bug last year. It was just hard getting her on a consistent path with some things she was dealing with. She went home for summer break, crushed it, and since she's been on campus has crushed it every single day that I've seen her. So I think all of us are really excited to get her on the mound. She's got a deadly changeup that she can throw in any count. She's got a really high whiff rate with that. Rowan Thompson, sophomore this year, the experience, as a freshman, just there's so much unknown, and then coming back as a sophomore, has a deadly drop ball. She's going to feed our defense. And then Maddie Milhorn just throws a soft 69-70 in the pen.
Soft. 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
A state champion, a two-time Gatorade Player of the Year from Washington. The resume is there, certainly.
Yeah, low 70s in the game. I think our defense is going to have a lot of fun around with her too. So they all bring something totally different. I feel like different matchups that we're going to see throughout the year that we're able to have somebody to handle that type of matchup.
And there you go. There's the pitching staff. See, I have no follow-ups. There's your pitching staff. And I imagine you want to see a lot of them in action early in the season, right? Get the experience.
It's important that we see them all early. We need them all, and to see them all early, it just really makes a big difference. So
I know that catchers then have a special place in every pitcher's heart, as you can certainly attest to. Tell us a little bit about Emma Cox and the growth that she's experienced.
Just watching her as a freshman last year and how much she grew, just on the field, off the field, the confidence that you gain. These guys are all really good athletes, but then you get to this level and you're just like, okay, here we go. Can I do this? Can I do this? And she can do this, and she could do it very well. I love the power that she provides at the plate. She has such a cannon and can pick people off like no other, which I love because you could have bases loaded, 2 outs, and she picks a runner at first, and we're out of the inning.
Sure.
And then it just takes all that momentum, into our offense. Bracy, exact same thing. She has a great arm, knows how to pick, receives really well, blocks. Trinity, I'm really excited for Trinity. Trinity is another one. She's worked really hard over the break, and just watching her and things that she's been doing and looking into her final year, I'm excited to see her get action behind the plate as well. Has great leadership, just what she's doing as a leader for us, swinging the bat really well right now, and just has really just honed in on her craft behind the plate. So,
and boy, it's always important to have depth, and that was on display with this group last year. It's nice to have depth at that catcher spot, isn't it?
Yeah, we need to have depth in the catching position and, obviously on the mound as well. And so you see that. We've got really good depth in both areas.
Infielders now. Let's begin with Riley McCoy, the All-American. Where's she gotten better heading into this year?
Riley, I would say defensively has gotten better. I think with her offense, just continuing to improve on her craft. The book is out now. As freshmen, the book's not out, and people don't know if you're for real or not. And I think people understand that she knows how to swing. So for her, I think it's just continuing just to stay with who she is and know what she can do at the plate and continue to provide power for us and clutching up.
How about Katie Flannery? I thought really good at third base for your team last year.
Yeah, I think she's the best third baseman in the country. I think she's really, really good at what she does. She's been an unbelievable defensive leader for us and has good power at the plate. She's worked really hard offensively and just is in a really good place. I love what Katie's doing on both sides.
Kaylin Jones, same question. Where's she improved?
Kata, freshman last year.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at her at the beginning of the year, towards the middle, and then to the end. And at the end, you could see her just really just take off. She had an unbelievable World Series, excellent defender. She's a pain at the plate. Pain.
You love that, though, right?
Yes. Yeah, I hate dealing with her at practice because she always figures out how to just get us. But for her to be somebody else's pain, that works for me.
You know, that's so funny, though. And, like, maybe this is a good time for me to ask you, like, you've seen your team, you know, the ins and outs. You played against each other so much. Like, there's always this excitement when you play against somebody else, right?
It is. We are so there, too. We just want to unite, play together against somebody else.
The pitchers get to root for the offense now, right?
Yes. But, no, she just has a great power slap, can soft slap, can stand in. You know, and just the experience, the confidence, just all the time that she got. She was thrown into the fire last year. And just watching her lead, too.
Yeah. I mean, you have a lot of that, I imagine, now, right? Like some of this returning group. Now, I got to ask you about an all-ACC transfer. You gave us a little bit of the scouting report on Addison Amaral. Addie, what's she brought to the table for you heading into the season?
She's a competitor. She gets after it. She was a little quiet at the beginning, you know, in the fall, which rightfully so. You know, you kind of come in and just take things in. But what I love is we are getting ready to go into the season right now, and I love how she talks on defense. She's got good things to say, real nice calming voice. She's a competitor. She enjoys being on defense, and then just you know, packs a punch at the plate. She could swing it.
Yeah. You just talked about leadership, and I asked this knowing how important she's been in her career. But how about Remington Hewitt, Coach?
Love it. I cannot believe she's in her final year.
How about
like,
that?
It's just crazy. I remember when we were recruiting Rem, and then now oh goodness, she's in her final year. I love what Rem has been doing for us. She's been an unbelievable leader for us. She's another one that's just worked really, really hard on her swing defensively. Her swing's in a really good place. I think you'll see some extra power for her. But I think, too, just understanding how she wants to attack the opponent. She's got really good plans at the plate and just is a selfless player. She just is just such a great teammate and leader. So I can't believe we're here.
Continuing with
Goodness.
the infield. Now, we're probably going to be saying this about a few of the names I'm going to bring up to you now because some of the faces that fans are getting to know at this point, right? In Abby Steffen, Taryn Ho, Amanda Urbina, some of your younger players to get to know.
Yeah, Abby, I am excited to see her swing at the plate. I always mimic her at practice. I'll be like, who's this? And I'll like stand tall like her. And I love what she's doing at the plate. She's just really confident. I feel like she's getting a really good swing off, knows what she wants to hit. Defensively, love what she's doing on defense at first base. So in a great place. And excited to see her get after it. Taryn, freshman. We have her all over the place, and she just on defense, and she just does her job. Just really athletic, very versatile, competitor. She plays like she's 7 feet tall, and I love that. And she's about 5. I don't know who's taller, either her or Paige Sinicki. So, but just I love the presence that she has and the competitor that she is.
Both play with some gravity around them, it sounds like. And then Amanda.
Yeah, Mandy Urbina, just hitter. Just gets up to the plate, loves to swing, has good power, just quietly goes about her business. But when she does talk, she's pretty funny. Likes to play, loves the sport. You know, like we just got a really good mix of personalities, good leadership, a good group of athletes that love the game, which I think is important. Sometimes you get to this point in your career and it feels more like a job, and I never want this to feel like a job.
Sure.
You know, for me, our staff, for our players, like we all love doing what we do.
Sports are supposed to be fun, after all.
Yeah.
Right? It is a game. I'm glad you said that because it could get lost, can't it? I mean, that's a big part of it. You know, there's There's a lot that goes into this, but it's also supposed to be fun when you hit a home run and you get a strikeout and things like that. We continue with Coach Lombardi. How about in the outfield, Coach? You were able to bring in some new faces that could be big contributors for you in the outfield this year.
Yeah, you know what's pretty awesome is I look at Ayanna, and she's been banged up a little bit these last couple years, and sometimes it just happens, and I just love she's healthy, she's strong, just has unbelievable range, strong arm. She can power slap. She can bunt for a hit. She can stand in. I just think she gives the opponent just a lot of different types of looks. Elise, we call her Jerry. Jerry has just been getting after it all year. Great range. In fact, there was a ball. Bracy, we were going live the other day, and Bracy came up and hit a shot to right center. Like, it's definitely a double. She's scoring. I think there's 2 runners on. Maybe she ends up at third. I mean, it was scorched. And Jerry came up and made a diving catch. Like, it was so impressive, and she made it look so easy. So what she does for us on defense, and then also just the type of hitter she is at the plate. She has great at bats, got good power. I think she'll give us a good average. And just like I said, likes to play.
I know you love a good defender.
Yeah. No, we talk about this, right? Yeah. Defense wins championships, and just watching the defense that all of these guys are going to be able to contribute for us.
A 980 fielding percentage last year. So no pressure, but that was a school record.
Yeah.
And I'm sure this team takes a lot of pride in that, continuing on that, don't they?
Definitely. I think that's just a part of our brand and who we are. So
outfield.
Yes, who else you got?
I was going to say, I'm going to keep hitting you. Amari Harper, an all-SEC performer coming in now.
Yep. And what I love about Amari is just seasoned, experienced, versatile. So she fits the Oregon brand.
Right.
The versatility piece. She could play any outfield position. She could come in and play second. She could play first. She could play third. What I love is just like what we need. She's like, okay, I got you. What can I do to help you out? And then she's just brilliant. She's another one that's a pain in practice dealing with when we scrimmage. She's just so good at the plate. Her plans are really precise. She knows exactly what she wants to do. She gets her pitch. She doesn't miss. So, her on-base percentage last year was over 500.
Yeah.
Just to get on base.
It's nice.
It's really nice.
Yeah. Similarly, another all type. You notice a lot of the transfers had an all something in front of them.
Yeah.
All SEC, all American now for Elon Butler.
Yeah. I tell Elon every day, I'm so glad that you're on my team and I'm not playing against you.
That might be the best compliment, by the way, that a coach can give you.
Just in her early years, I would just hold my breath, like, just stay in the park. Just please stay in the park, please. She packs a punch. She's got some power. She could change a game really, really quick. And just the experience, I love with these 3 transfers. They just have the experience. They've been through it.
Right.
They're not going to live and die on every play. They're just older. They get it.
They've been through it a few times.
Yeah, definitely.
I get it. Reagan Legg, Presley Lawton running out the outfield.
Yeah, Reagan is just absolutely flying around the bases right now. I love the speed that she brings to us. Put her in the outfield in any spot. She has worked really hard on her swing as well. And she's another one that I'll be like, oh, who is this? And just kind of mimic. Just real tall.
Can you do every single player? Yeah. All right. That's going to be a video.
Yes.
Stay tuned on that coming soon.
But just proud of her. She's just really got after it this summer, brought it into the fall, brought it into, the winter and in the month of January. Really in a great place, and I'm excited for her.
Yeah, Presley,
same thing. Swing the bat well. She can catch. She can play in the outfield. I think you'll see her more in the outfield this year. A year under her belt, she was one of, in that freshman class. So it's just nice for the freshmen that are sophomores, that unknown piece that just kind of wears you out a little bit your first year. You just don't have that.
Yeah.
Your second year.
The designated player. Can't forget to ask you about Stephanie Make.
Yeah, Steph.
Changes the game. You talk about changing the game with one swing.
Goodness, I'm glad she's on my team too. Yeah.
That's quite the compliment for a few players on offense.
Yeah.
And there's your Ducks this year. You ready for opening weekend? You ready now? You did it all, Coach. You hit everybody.
Yes.
Well done. Well done. Safe travels to Florida. What do you want to see from your team opening weekend and against good competition?
Yeah, that they're ready to go. You know, they are ready to go. What I want to see them do is really stick to their process. That is like such a big thing for us. It sounds just really boring and not exciting, but stick to their process. You know, we always talk about as long as we have innings and we have outs, we're never out of a game. Just flat out compete. You know, at different times, these guys are going to be able to need to take some strain on, take that strain on, and just love it. Like, we've been waiting for this moment, so go out and enjoy opening weekend.
Friday, it all begins at 10 a.m. Pacific time. All the details are on GoDucks.com. You can check out the schedule page, all the different tuning in options. Coach, safe travels to Florida. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
All right. Coach Lombardi with us every Tuesday. We're coming back after this. Some updates on women's basketball. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
When life blindsides you with an injury, you need a team that's tough. For over 30 years, Morgan & Morgan has been fighting for the people. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics. Because whether it's on the field or in the courtroom, we're both determined to do what it takes to win. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial pound law. Morgan & Morgan, 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Thanks again to Coach Lombardi. We're back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Kelly Graves, he'll be talking with Chris Clayton coming up on the show tomorrow, but he met with the media here this morning, talking about the upcoming homestand. Illinois, 6 o'clock on Wednesday, and then Ohio State's in town on Sunday, taking on the Ducks. Critical homestand for Oregon. It feels like maybe they've turned a corner after that win on the road against Maryland. Kelly Graves breaking it down.
Last time we spoke with you, there's kind of some negative momentum, and now there's some positive momentum. Kind of speak with how that's kind of carried over from the weekend.
Well, that's the nature of the game, right? You ride the ups and downs, and yeah, we just had one of those great weeks on the road. It's our first road sweep in the Big Ten, and we played really well. We had a lot of different players that contributed. I thought defensively we were on point both games. Offensively, we're starting to see the ball going into the basket a little bit. Heath obviously is a big difference, and when she plays like she did this weekend, we become a different team. It frees up the shooters more, and I just thought Sophia Bell had a great week defensively, and then she's being more aggressive offensively, and it's helping her game, not just making the threes, but if you notice, she's trying to create a little bit more. So I don't know. We've been practicing well. It just it seems like we're kind of turned a corner a little bit, and they're believing in each other, believing in what we're doing, and that being said, it could all come crashing down tomorrow. That's just the way this league is, because Illinois is coming in and they're a really good team, so we're going to have to keep playing well.
Coach, basketball obviously a game of runs. You guys saw Maryland had a couple at the end of the second and third. How important is it, especially this late in the season, that you guys were able to withstand that for the upset win, to be able to withstand some big runs at the end of quarters? How important is that?
Well, we need to do a little bit better at the end of those quarters, right? So we can learn from that. We didn't manage the clock all that well, in the Maryland game. But, the fact that we keep bouncing back, which we've shown a lot of bounce back ability all season, and so that's in our MO. But, we've just got to continue to do a little bit better. But basketball is a game of runs, and that Maryland game was case in point. Both of us made extended runs. We were lucky to make the last one.
You talked about Ahi's success, especially on offense. Have you noticed any specific change in her? Is she being more aggressive, or the basket's just falling in? Because it feels like these last couple of games, she's looked like a different player.
All of the above. I think we're seeing somebody just get better right before our eyes. I think a lot of it is self-belief, and she, I think, is starting to see that, hey, I can really do this, and I'm really pretty good player, and so she's, and then the other part, yes, she is being more aggressive. She's getting extra shots, not only for herself, but for the team, doing a great job on the offensive boards. And what I really like about her is, late in that game against Maryland, she had an amazing assist, a kick out to Sophia. She's one of our best and most willing passers, too. And as she gets more and more attention, and she's going to have opportunities to set others up. Right now, we trust her in ball handling situations, too, at the end of the game. So she's blossoming right before our eyes.
That was striking, the number of times she brought the ball up. What's going through your head in those moments? What's your confidence level?
Yeah, great question. There are sometimes like, oh no, give it up. And then she'll go the distance and make some spin move and make it. She's had a couple times when she did maybe a little bit too much and turned it over. But boy, I tell you what, when she gets a head of steam, I wouldn't step in front of her if I was a defender. But she's she's an amazing athlete and so strong, and she's a typical Euro, right? They have the skills. She wasn't just thrown inside. Hey, you're an inside player. And so she's able to do multiple things.
And what does a confident Ace look like? Because she's got an understated personality. That doesn't seem to change much. What do you see that you're saying, okay, that's emerging?
Yeah, you're seeing it on the court. She hasn't changed off the court. I mean, you've been around her extensively, and she is a unique personality. There's no question. In fact, yesterday when the team kind of, we found out that she was the Big Ten Player of the Week, the team was cheering after practice, and she just, in her deadpan way, thanks. Just like that. I mean, it was nothing to her. So, she's just a pleasure to coach because she's really a sponge and wants to do the right thing, and most of the time does.
I guess kind of on that same vein, what does it do for the team when you have that sort of a low post presence to kind of rely on down the stretch of games, because that was maybe absent earlier on in the season, or not as consistent?
Not consistent, yeah. Well, it changes who we are. I mean, it allows Mia Jacobs more open looks, and we run some sets with the two of them together, and she's drawing a lot of attention now, and that frees, other players up, Katie to drive, our shooters to shoot, and we've had a pretty good shooting season. So I think just that low post presence, we say it in our pre-games. It's like in football, you want to establish the run to set up the pass. And along those same lines, we want to establish the inside game to set up the outside game. But we use the football term. And, I think she's just, she's still 6 foot, and, and she's going up night in, night out against much taller players, but she's just finding a way to get it done.
You talked about the outside game as well. Belle has proven herself to be a very, reliable outside shooter. What have you liked for her outside game, or from her shooting game?
Well, I like the fact that, we encouraged her a month or so ago to really start being more aggressive, and I think it's helped. I think she is doing more than just a 3-and-D player. She is our best defender, hands down, not even close. Second half, when we shut down, Maryland's top scorer in the first half, that was by and large Sophia. But our plan going into that game was to take away their 3-point shooters, 12 and 6, Poffenberger and Garzone, and we did. We did a great job, and that allowed their one player to have a great first half. Second half, we just adjusted. We continued to stay on those shooters and just put Sophia on her one-on-one. She can do that on any player. She's an outstanding defender. She's not going to win the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference because she doesn't get high steal numbers, high block numbers, or a lot of defensive rebounds. But if you want just a lockdown, smart, focused kid, she can guard anybody. And
high praise, by the way, there for Sophia Bell. And I think I love that Coach Graves was talking about this because what did we all say, here when we reviewed the game? Like those threes, that Rob and I were even just talking about this, like those threes Sophia Bell hit in the fourth quarter were critical. And there's Coach Graves saying, well, actually the defense was pretty darn critical from Sophia Bell. We're going to get a timeout, come back here a little bit more from Coach Graves getting ready for tomorrow night against Illinois here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
Snakes, zombies, sharks, heights, speaking in public. The list of fears is endless. But while you're clutching your blanket in the dark, wondering if that sound in the hall was actually a footstep, the real danger is in your hand, when you're behind the wheel. And while you might think a great white shark is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember, back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this wayward son?
Duck Insider is presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Getting ready for National Signing Day tomorrow. GoDucks.com. The auction is live. Check it out via GoDucks.com. Also of note, women's basketball getting ready for Illinois tomorrow. A 6 o'clock tip. Ducks and Illinois in very similar positions in the Big Ten standings. We continue hearing from Oregon women's basketball head coach Kelly Graves.
To the point of her aggressiveness, though, I mean, she's been an established three-point shooter for you, but to step up and make those shots in those moments maybe seemed a little different. Like, can that change her profile in your mind and her mind, the fact that she made those shots in those moments on Saturday?
Absolutely, yeah. So she'll be more comfortable and more confident the next time she's in that position. Yeah, I do a crunch time. You know, I put a game plan together every game, and on there I put 5 crunch time plays. And when Sabrina was here, a lot of them had Sabrina and Ruthie on them. Okay, we're going to do this, and this for this player. I think this last game I had 3 of the 5 were for Sophia. I mean, she's in, so I'm trusting her more in those kind of big situations. And she delivered certainly this last game.
When you speak of those those big time moments, right? Earlier in the season, Michigan State, you guys had opportunities and weren't able to kind of, get up to the moment and be able to secure those games. To have this moment against Maryland and have that moment where the team can see we can get it done, how important was that for them? Just in terms of, the opponents you guys are going to face the rest of the season, of course, the Big Ten tournament,
I know. Seems like every game's coming down to the wire. So it was, we've won a close game. Mr. Scopel had forgot that in one of his tweets, and so I had to remind him that USC was close. The more you play in these kind of games, and then to actually win a couple, the more confidence that you get in them. And we're still a young team. When you look at some of the players that are making plays at crunch time, or we're asking to make plays, got some sophomores in there that haven't played much, some juniors that hadn't played a whole lot. So we just I'm just happy that we have the opportunity to win these games, right? We're not getting blown out. We've been in every game outside of the UCLA game. And come to find out, we've played them about as close as anybody at 21. That's how good they are. So we've got some work to do, certainly, to catch them.
The fact that you guys had this successful road trip this late in the season, the end of January, does that give you more does it matter to you that it was at the end of January as we get closer to March, or is it just this? Would it be the same if it happened early in the season?
You want to win games in January and February. That's all I know. So, yeah, we did it.
What can you say just about the Illini, both teams coming with some momentum, having won some big games?
I really like their team, and they've been without one of their key players. She played a little bit the other night, Dolan, against Washington. She'd been out, I think, 3 or 4 games, and I'm expecting that she'll play even more against us. So that it gives them a whole nother weapon. Their inside play right now is terrific. We've got our work cut out for us in Barry Wallace and 23. I sometimes forget the names when I have to think too quickly, but and then they've got great guard play. They attack the basket so well. Yeah, this is going to be one of our tougher tasks, certainly. And they're feeling good. You look at the mental game. What are they mental? Are they happy to have a split on the road, or they're going to want to get greedy? So we know we're going to get their absolute best game. I think Coach Green does a really good job. She's setting a lot of firsts for Illinois basketball, and I like their team.
That's a little preview of the matchup with Illinois coming up at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. Kelly Graves meeting with the media today, brought to you by the Willamette Valley Cancer Institute and Research Center. Better cancer care close to home. Here in the Country Financial Studio, we can also tell you today that Maddox Maloney from Oregon Baseball, Duck shortstop, one of 20 players on the Baseball America preseason Player of the Year watch list. Congratulations to Maddox Maloney. I think he's going to show up on a few different watch lists this year. Also, the Oregon women's golf team is in action today. They were in 7th place before the round started very early this morning. We'll have full recap tomorrow and on GoDucks.com. National Signing Day tomorrow. We will be on the air for a special edition show on the Oregon football channels at 9:30. See you then.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. You got it. English, and I struggle finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate